And this game was so big, they talked about the flag planting on Sunday Night Football. They never talk about college football on the Sunday Night Football broadcast. And yet, the biggest story of the weekend, Michigan, a 3-touchdown underdog, takes down Ohio State.
Michigan. Woo! You sat right here on Wednesday and said, CJ, you got any sort of faith? And I kind of dejectedly said, kind of, no, not really. But you know what? If it happens, it'll happen because Ohio State is soft. Well, the Ohio Soft University did not let me down. I can bank on them boys being soft as Charmin tissue, soft as two kittens being tickled on a sheet made of pure cotton. So soft. So luxurious. Them boys are extra soft up there in Columbus. Oh my goodness. How do you lose to that Michigan team? I've seen Michigan do a whole lot of things. And up until this point, I hadn't seen them do everything. I had never seen a bad Michigan team beat a good Ohio State team. That was until this year. Michigan can't complete a forward pass. Did that matter? No. Michigan's secondary is real gullible, especially with Johnson out. Right? Did Ohio State take advantage of that? No. Y'all went out there and got this transfer damn quarterback from Kansas State, who's the worst Ohio State quarterback of my lifetime. And y'all went out there and begged him to come to your program. Meanwhile, the quarterback that you had last year, what was he doing this weekend? I can't remember.
Shredding up Miami's defense.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Born on third base is Ryan Day. Still born on third base. Ain't made it home yet. He'll never get home. Might be time to cut ties with the great Ryan Day. Yes, ma'am, Jessica Jane.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. How much did Ohio State pay for their roster?
How much?
I
don't know.
Oh, $20 million?
That's not a big deal. That's cheaper than rosters past. I feel like
$20 million.
I feel like the roster from like 2006 was about $30 million.
To lose to Michigan? To lose to that
bad Michigan team. Yeah, that's
Come on.
Ohio State's been playing players their entire existence. That's what they do.
I don't know, man. They were the portal kings. They were feasting on making the best roster, the deepest roster in college football.
Sure.
Only to lose to Michigan?
You can't run the ball on that front? No. And that front is as bad as Michigan has been this year. That front, superb. Those 4 defensive linemen that Michigan has, all of them are going pro. At least 2 of them are going in the first round. Probably 3 in the first round. Hell, all 4 might go in the first round. If Ohio State is any indicator on that, you go out here, you creep your little happy-go-lucky Buckeye asses way down to Oxford, Mississippi. You take their running back. You take Judkins. Judkins, one of the best running backs in the SEC last year, in the past 2 years, I do believe. You get him, and you can't run this man? You can't find a way to run the football? Never mind the fact that your piss poor ass quarterback, the one you got who transferred in from Kansas State or wherever the hell he came from, can't complete a forward pass now all of a sudden. And all that damn talent.
Jeremiah Smith just being wasted.
All that damn talent. Hold that thought on Jeremiah Smith. I have thoughts on that bum.
You got it.
All that talent. And y'all can't get a field goal kicker to make a kick inside the damn 20 on the Smith. How is Smith allowed to run through dudes on routes and it not be offensive pass interference? Also, one of those pass interferences on Michigan, the Ohio State receiver, I can't remember if it's Smith or not, the Ohio State wide receiver has the Michigan defensive back by the face mask. He has grabbed his whole damn face mask. Ohio State was trying to cheat their way to victory, and even that didn't work. Good grief, the Ohio Soft University. They deserve to be left out of the playoffs. You lose to that Michigan team, you can't go to the playoffs. We'll see you in the Citrus Bowl, Ohio Soft. Get out of here.
They will probably still make the playoffs.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. But they probably will.
Keep them out.
Will Ryan Day be their coach? Because the conversation now is national championship or Ryan Day gets fired. And what an odd place to be. What a strange mentality.
It's not that odd or strange. We've seen it.
If you're an Ohio State fan, because you're almost like, I hope they don't win because I want them to fire Ryan Day. And Ryan Day, talk about being useless. Of all the people in the post-game situations occurring with the flag planting and the macing of college athletes and the fight that occurred, Ryan Day's just standing off to the side.
Scuffle.
Ryan Day's just like, meow.
Scuffle. It's a lot of pushing
I don't
and
know what
shoving.
I can do here.
It's a lot of grabbing. What is he supposed to do?
I don't know. Lead?
Let these dudes get it out. Like, come on, y'all. Also, that's more fight than Ohio State showed the entire game. But whatever.
These two.
They just got maced.
Can you imagine? You just beat your rival again, and you got maced. Like, come on. We can't be macing. Although I will say there were plenty of people with the sentiment of, my God, I can't believe we saw campus police macing students. And I'm like, well, that's just another day at Cal. Go over to Berkeley every once in a while. Go to Columbia, see what happens.
Hit with a little bit of mace every now and then.
Add it to college football. Adds a little spice to it. I will say, my take on the flag planting, win the game.
Okay.
If you don't want someone to plant the flag, win the damn game. It's that simple. And to fight over planting the flag is so stupid.
I push back on that.
Stupid.
You can't touch my 50.
It's a 50.
That's the line.
It's a field.
We're drawing the line.
Listen, we just did Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It is so perfect that all of this transpires over Thanksgiving weekend. No better time for rivalry weekend than Thanksgiving, because we don't talk enough about the first Thanksgiving in the right way. This is all about people going in and stealing territory, stealing places that was once belonged to somebody else. You plant that flag. That's the American way. We're going to pretend like that. Now we're going to bug out over it?
Yeah, but like it's, thinking about.
Come on.
But thinking about it, right? If after Pearl Harbor, Japan came through, dropped all those bombs, and then just came through and planted the flag in Honolulu, we would have nuked them people a long damn time ago.
We still did.
It took a while.
These things take time.
We went to Germany and took care of them, and then we decided to nuke them. But it would have been instant, right?
You shouldn't make those those are not instant decisions to be made.
Listen, it gets made.
My God.
No, there are things that...
We need to stop. Someone needs to stand up and be the bigger person and say we shouldn't plant flags in college football anymore. The NCAA is not going to do it, so the Big Ten needs to do it, or the SEC needs to do it. No, win your game.
Here's the thing that I don't want. I hadn't seen anything about this as we see.
And that's the best version. Pitchfork it.
Yeah, Arizona State planting the pitchfork.
Is done.
Yeah.
People were on one this weekend.
No suspensions need to be laid out, right? If we're okay with planting the flag, what you're telling me is we're okay with fighting in the post game. And I am fine with fisticuffs in the post game. I encourage as somebody who has seen and participated in some post game scuffles. We actually fought. Like, that's just a bunch of dudes pushing around, moving up and down the field. We actually threw helmets and fists and things of that nature. I'm okay with that. But if you're saying, all right, because of the flag planting incident, we've got this list of players that's going to be suspended for their behavior in the fight that came up after the flag planting. Well, then you got to say, hey, don't plant flags. All right, if you're saying you're okay with planting flags, and I'm fine with it if we're okay with the ramifications that come. If we're okay with, hey, somebody getting stomped out on the ground or somebody getting hit upside the head, right? Like, because that's what it leads to. And I am fine with it. I don't think you are. And it's weird that we've drawn the line of demarcation on the 50. No place else on the field, it's the 50, right? You can't do that there. But like I think about it, and it's a lot like your mama jokes, right? Where you can say whatever you want to about my daddy or my grandparents, but the mama, you say something about my mama, that means you really don't respect me as a man. And I'm like 10 years old as a 10-year-old man. So now we got to fight about it. Like, everybody knows that sort of thing is off limits. We know that the 50 is off limits. This flag planting stuff is new. We talked about it before the show. This came about, 2016 when Baker planted? So,
what a legacy.
Full circle moment. If you got this big a damn problem Ohio solved with Michigan planting the flag at your 50, you should have took care of that shit in 2016 with Baker. You should have been trying to fight Baker, because then we wouldn't be dealing with this. We used to just jump up and down, and we talked about it during the pre-show. I am more of a proponent for calling your shot before the game. Meet them at the 50 and start stomping on the 50 with them on the field, jumping up and down like Miami used to do, right? Like, I'm a proponent of that.
No, I'm a proponent of once you've handled business.
Oh, that's chicken shit.
It's not chicken shit. You won the game.
Call your shot before the game.
You won the game.
If you're bad, be bad before the game.
Nah, you don't want to call it too early.
No.
That's front running.
That's not.
And then you have the chance to be embarrassed.
calling it late as front running.
No.
The results have already been
No,
in.
you let the results speak for themselves, and then you add a little flavor on it.
Oh, listen, I'm cool with it.
April showers bring May flowers. Rivalry weekend upset brings planting the flag. Let it happen.
I am cool with it if we can fight.
Gus Johnson was crazy on that broadcast.
How many times did he mention about my man having his parents die in a drive-by?
Too many. At least twice. At least I've got a great story on this one. His parents died. Oh, I hate when we do that. He sounded like he was having an actual medical related event when it was the end zone pick. Because that's when I was on my run, as mentioned. I don't know if you know this, I'm running a half marathon. I was on my 10-mile run. There was like a spike in my run splits, and it was then because I was just like leaping around and I'm trying to text you, and I'm like, I was just starting to believe in this Michigan team. They still get it done. And then Gus Johnson at the end says, this time without cheating. I'm like, my man, what happened to the law of broadcast? What happened to being neutral?
You got to be.
Never heard of it.
Say whatever you want to say. Michigan, 2024 national champions, Michigan. 4-0 against Ohio State. Michigan under a first-year head coach in a less than good season, right? In a bad season for most of the year for Michigan football, still came away with not only being bowl eligible, but wins over Michigan State and Ohio Soft, right? Like this is my wet dream right here. Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Can we also agree that being able to, on the live interview following beating your rival, being able to say, they got to learn how to lose, is like the greatest line you could drop.
Was that Mullen?
Yes.
Well, the other line that he dropped, which was great, like, come on, man. We played 4 quarters in 60 minutes. Get all that fighting out then. We had all game to fight. Don't get mad now.
They were trying to say it's bad for the sport. This is great for the sport. This is why it's the greatest sport to ever exist. I love terrible. College football.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.